Chapter 1. Knowing Your Tea. A Brief Introduction. The first time I tasted tea, I was in a hotel room in Oregon. I was 8 years old, and my family was getting ready to make the last leg of our journey to a new home. My parents made coffee from the black plastic coffee maker the hotel had provided. I remember there being a little black tray that had a couple of little bags of coffee, sugar, and 2 other mysterious packets. Having learned to read not that long ago, I was excited to ask what tea was, because that's all that was written on the front of the package. A white paper square, black text, tea. My mom said something like, "It's good. You'll like it." And my dad laughed for some reason. I didn't understand, but I was enthralled seeing my mother bring a mug of water to a boil in the microwave and plop a fibrous bag into it. She told me to wait, and I passed the long minutes, which felt like hours to my impatient child brain, staring at the steaming cup on the counter. It smelled weird, like coffee, but not. After a while, my mom said it was ready and handed me the cup, warning me that it was hot. It was, and I remember my hands tingling from the heat, but I didn't care. I was an adult now. I had a hot cup of something just like my parents. I'd have to tell my brother I'd get to ride in the front seat now that I was clearly the elder sibling. My cup, full of vaguely translucent brown liquid, steamed as if mirroring my anticipation. I took my first sip of tea. I spat it out. Disgusting. Filth. Vile. Worse than the coffee my parents had let me try. Worse than that prune juice. I'd mistaken it for grape. Worse than anything. Tea is a drink, and it is a plant, and from that plant, we can derive a wildly variable set of flavors that make up the second most widely consumed beverage in the world, second only to water. Seeing a bag only labeled as tea is like saying you're going on vacation to a place. While it may be technically true, there is a world of specificity missing. Tea is as variable as the people who drink it, and while the lessons here will discuss a standard way of doing things for different teas, they are not rules. For many, tea is a cultural drink brewed and consumed in ceremonies. For others, it has significant personal and emotional value. Others still may see it only as an alternative to coffee. Tea changes with the person, and this text will seek to discuss the standard experiences that can be shared to create the best cup of tea possible. It does not account for nuances in personal taste. Some people may enjoy a more bitter concoction, and others may like their tea hot enough to make their upper lip numb just by drinking it. Your nuanced love for tea is still justified if it differs from some of the lessons contained here. Still, if you are looking for a place to start modifying how you consume this wonderfully variable beverage, you may find something interesting here. While the plant that most teas come from, Camellia sinensis, originated in Southeast Asia, tea is now consumed across the world. There are many different types of tea to match the many cultures that consume it. Some enjoyed it for its medicinal properties. Some steeped in cultural value. Others used it as a source of caffeine easier on the body than coffee. There are many different types of tea, all with their own brewing needs, effects on the body, and unique flavor profiles. Tea is consumed all over the world, so to define and discuss every type of tea would take much more than one book. So, to start, we can look at some of the most widely consumed types of tea: green, black, white, oolong, and herbal. Green tea. Green tea is the closest you can get to plain tea. A tea bag could justifiably be only labeled as tea if it contained plain green tea. Green tea is made from leaves plucked from the Camellia sinensis plant, then quickly heated to prevent oxidation. This process gives green teas their mellow flavor, often tasting earthy, nutty, and herbaceous. Green teas are often caffeinated, and if you're looking for a pleasant alternative to coffee that is entirely different in flavor, then you'll have luck with green teas. Green tea is consumed in many places worldwide, and it comes in many forms, from the powdered matcha to grassy sencha. In the US, you can even get small, concentrated cups of matcha tea and drink it like you would a shot of liquor. Green teas are varied and nuanced while still being one of the most consumed teas in the world. Tip number 1. Genmaicha, a green tea flavored with roasted brown rice that sometimes looks like popcorn, can help with digestion issues. Genmaicha, along with many other green teas, is a strong diuretic, meaning it will help your body lose excess water and salt. It can reduce bloating, decrease indigestion, or help you feel a little more sprightly, though you'll likely be thirsty later. With many more out there, here are a few of the most common types of green tea. Sencha, a commonly consumed green tea in Japan. Sencha teas typically taste faintly nutty with pleasant grassy notes. Matcha, one of the only teas in which you will actually drink the leaves. Matcha teas are made from powdered tea leaves. Matcha teas often taste earthy and are a great source of antioxidants and caffeine. Kukicha, one of the only teas made with stems and twigs rather than leaves. Kukicha teas are nutty and slightly sweet, creating a rich yellow brew. Fukamashika. Fukamashika teas are deep steamed, combining several other green teas to provide a bold, rich flavor. As a bonus, when brewing it yourself, some tea particles will coat the bottom of your cup, and similar to matcha, drinking those little bits of tea leaves provides health benefits. Black tea. Black tea is the favorite of much of the Western world. With a solid seat in the UK and North America, black teas tend to have a bold and dominating flavor, and they make for great morning teas when you need to get a running start to your day. Earl Grey is one of the best-known black teas, and its citrus tang and mellow floral notes are well known to lovers of black tea. Black tea became popular in England after its production in British-occupied India in the 19th century. Black teas are made by letting tea leaves oxidize after being picked, allowing the flavors to deepen just as the color of the leaves grows dark. Black teas are commonly consumed as a mellow alternative to coffee, but they have their own merit that makes them more than just a substitute. Tip number 2. If you want to wake up quickly or add some vigor to your day, black teas are often as caffeinated as coffee without the strain on your digestive system. Many types of coffee are acidic and harsh on the stomach lining, but tea is rarely so intense so that you can get all of the benefits of the caffeine boost with none of the stomach trouble. Tip number 3. Black teas can be flavored with cream and sugar similarly to coffee, while still retaining their unique flavors. Black teas have intense, bold flavors that will shine through even strong flavor additives like cream, so don't be afraid to mix it up and give yourself something delicious. Tip number 4. If the flavor of a masala chai is not to your liking, you can alter the blend yourself by adding spices directly to your cup to embolden the flavor, or milk to soften it. Try adding a dash of nutmeg and a tiny sprinkle of cayenne for some extra kick. If you want something flavorful to cut through the sweetness but don't want spice, cinnamon is also a common spice for a good chai. Below is a small sampling of common black teas. Darjeeling, named after the Darjeeling district in India, where the British originally began growing and exporting their tea. Darjeeling black tea is often called the champagne of teas for its sweet and musky flavor combining notes of citrus with a subtle earthy undercurrent. Earl Grey, this common black tea, flavored with bergamot oil, has layers of citrus and it's often supplemented with lavender, orange, or vanilla. Its distinctive smell, flavor, and reputation make it one of the most well-known black teas around the world. Choose your country breakfast blends. English, Irish, and Scottish are the most common breakfast blends, and they each contain different rations of black tea blends. Commonly compared to Earl Grey, their teas typically do not have Earl Grey's characteristic bergamot flavor and instead rely on the bold, rich flavors of blended black tea. Masala chai. Bold black tea is mixed with aromatic Indian herbs and spices to create an often spicy tea that can be combined with milk or cream. Masala chai teas vary in flavor and spice depending on where they are mixed, with some being sweet and milky and others being spicy and challenging. White tea. Many of the most gentle teas are white teas. Their flavors are soft and floral, and the leaves themselves are often a pale green. Often accented with lavender and honey, white teas can range from fruity to bold and nutty. White teas are also known for their enchanting aromas, many of which are enticing enough before the tea has even been brewed. Where black tea is plucked and then left to oxidize, white tea is carefully treated to keep oxidation to an absolute minimum, which gives these teas their characteristic, subtle flavors. White tea is often floral in taste, soothing, gentle, and as delicate as the budding leaves from which it was made. Tip number 5. Some white teas, like jasmine pearl tea, will bloom when you steep them, so grab a transparent cup and watch your tea come back to life. Pearl teas will open and wave their long leaves. Other blooming teas even have flowers in them that will open for a beautiful view. Here is a small list of white teas to entice you to search for more. Jasmine. With a floral, summery flavor, jasmine tea has one of the most recognizable scents of any tea. With subtle caffeine and a strong flavor, jasmine tea is as distinctive as it is delicious. Silver needle. Silver needle teas made from thin, dried white tea leaves are smooth and gentle in their flavor, often carrying hints of citrus. White peony. Mild yet fruity, these teas are among the bolder brews white tea has to offer. Reminiscent of green tea, white peony is sweet and sometimes nutty. Long life eyebrow tea. Stronger than silver needle or even white peony, long life eyebrow tea, often called longevity tea, is defined by a bold yet quenching flavor. Oolong tea. Oolong teas are rare in many parts of the world, but that rarity makes them that much more of a goal for tea drinkers. Widely variable, it is said that there is an oolong tea for everyone. If you want a robust tea tasting of fruit and loam, or if you want a complex floral flavor that falls across your tongue, either way, there's an oolong tea for that. Oxidized for longer than green tea but shorter than black tea, oolong tea is a strongly flavored middle ground, containing deeper notes of the nutty flavors that characterize green teas along with the subtle richness of black teas. Oolong is often complex in flavor and deeply satisfying. Tip number 6. Though hard to find in many places, oolong teas are often the answer when you want a little caffeine but mostly want something delicious. Oolong teas are complex and diverse. So if you have a specific flavor you want, whether it's smoky and strong or sweet and soft, there's likely an oolong for you. Below is a sample of oolong teas, but there are many more, each complex and unique. Red robe. The warm brown color of this tea matches the complex roasted flavor it provides. While it contains some of the depth of black tea, red robe also carries notes of citrus. Phoenix. In contrast to red robe, Phoenix oolong tea is naturally fruity, often supplemented with honey to coax the sweet flavors even further. Iron Goddess. Combining the vegetal taste of green tea with the fruity offerings of Phoenix oolong, Iron Goddess is a complex tea that is fresh and invigorating. Milk. Floral yet smooth, sweet yet buttery, milk oolong is refreshing, smooth, and gentle on the throat. Herbal tea. While herbal tea has origins in different plants, it is no less a valued member of the tea family. With documented medicinal benefits, many herbal teas have been consumed for thousands of years. Home remedies and orders from the doctor alike account for herbal teas. If something ails you, the odds are good there is a delicate blend of herbs that can help soothe you. Herbal tea, technically speaking, is not tea. Tea comes from the leaves of the Camellia sinensis, and herbal tea does not contain those leaves. But tea has evolved beyond the confines of one leaf, and herbal teas are as enriched in tea culture as any other. Semantics are subservient to pleasure, and herbal teas are joyful and delicious. Flavored by the herbs they're named after, herbal teas are medicinal, gentle, often fruity, and each one is distinct. Tip number 7. Throat coat, a familiar blend of licorice, elm, and marshmallow root, can be a great tea before bed if you had a day full of talking or if you're noticing a tickle in your throat. The blend of herbs will do exactly as the name of the tea suggests, coating your throat in a soothing layer of gentle, healing herbs. Tip number 8. Mint tea can help with indigestion. And if you add a little sugar, it tastes like mint candy. Peppermint, the main and often only ingredient in mint tea, can help to relax your stomach, easing indigestion and bloating. Animals have been seen in the wild eating it for this exact reason. Tip number 9. If you are looking for a calm tea to close out your day, herbal teas are rarely caffeinated, and the gentle flavors will lull you to a pleasant, healthy slumber. With delicate flavors and soothing health benefits, many herbal teas are perfect for when you want to take your time falling into a quiet, easy sleep. Here are several of the most commonly consumed herbal teas, but they are as diverse as the herbs from which they are derived. Chamomile. Looking like daisies and tasting like floral sleep, chamomile has long been a soothing remedy that can be supplemented with honey, vanilla, or lemon. Peppermint. Peppermint tea, made from dried mint leaves, has a robust and nourishing flavor of earthy mint. Ginger. Spicy and wholesome like the root it comes from, ginger tea is a zesty delight that is often blended with green teas. Rose. Made from rose hips, rose tea is subtle, pink, and gentle. Flourishing when mixed with honey, these teas are floral, tart, and sweet. Chapter Review. Tea is a beverage as diverse as the people who love it. Enjoyed around the world, tea has developed from the leaves of a single plant into a wide variety of drinks. Tea can largely be broken down into a few distinct families: green, black, white, oolong, and herbal. Green teas are nutty, grassy, and richly flavored. Black teas are highly caffeinated, bold, and the closest in flavor to coffee. White teas are delicate, fruity, and sweet. Oolong teas are complex, offer a range of flavors bordering the boldness of black teas and the nuttiness of green teas. Herbal teas are not made from the same plant all other teas come from. Rather, they are made from herbs themselves and are flavored as differently as the herbs they're named after.